I did the Bachelor of Communications degree in the year 2005, Design Communication. It was generally a design-centric course whereby it actually furthered our understanding of design concepts and how to actually do good design. However, more than a design course itself, it stimulated me to understand that design is more than just the creation of visuals and aesthetics on specific mediums. Rather, it is the conceptualization ideas that led me to think about what kind of design can I actually do. I graduated in the year 2006. Although I was equipped with a degree for design, my intent was not to just get a design job as a designer, a graphic designer or web designer. What I wanted to do was to design solutions for people in their everyday lives. So the thought came upon me to work with a couple of partners to set up this company, X Communications, to deliver daily solutions to people, not just on varied forms of mediums, but to solve their business problems by implementing concepts and ideas which actually help them. Social media is essentially important to us because it is one of the things that we do. We preach, we evangelize social media to our clients that they can actually leverage on it. Rather than as a channel to do shout outs and to tell people about your business, we believe that social media is a tool whereby you can find out more about your customers, your clientele, and get to know more about their wants, such that our clients, as we advise them, can skewer their business to suit their needs better. I believe the future of design lies in the integration of services, be it different forms of mediums, to be able to provide a one-stop service to our clients, such that we can enable them to solve their problems easily and without hassle. Through the different networking sessions that have been arranged for the alumni, I have learned a lot by meeting various people to understand from them how other businessmen do their business. And from the same time, we have also done businesses with other alumni members at the same time. So it has been useful to me. For people who want to do design in Singapore, my advice to them is to really start lean and to be able to deliver services quickly and efficiently, to be agile, to move on with the times, and to constantly review themselves such that we are relevant to the trade.